Welcome to the Muddiest Point Hangout. It's a little bit later. I just made it down from Larimer campus, and what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and screen share here. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a couple things, okay? Now, to get started, I have all of these, so thank you very much. This is the one I'm going to get started with first. It asks, what was the muddiest point of the session? And the response that is here, it says, I am lost as to what our next step is for this class. So we're going to start right there. Okay, I have now taken you to that class. It might look a little different, and the reason why is both Allison and I put news items here. So you'll remember this from the first time you came into the D2L show. Now, Allison did put in, what's your biggest aha and muddiest point? I have the muddiest points. If under consideration you're thinking and you have another muddiest point, feel free to go ahead and put it there. But Allison here is going ahead and using a Google Doc to collect this from us. So I'm going to say, the first time you come into this class, always check the news items. And I will tell you, because I send things over email, sure, but when I want to update, when I want to do something like this, I go ahead and I put it in the news item so everybody sees it. And here's the thing, it can be really bad. And look, really trippy, huh? but what that is the broadcast that we're actually doing now. So that'll be located here as soon as we're done with that broadcast. So first thing, I would say, when it comes to this course, first thing, come in, check the news items. There'll be updates there. Now, the next thing you do when you come into this course, now I gave you some paper handouts, and those are for people who like paper, for people who like that kind of behind the scenes thing. But here, go ahead and click in content. Now, in content here, we have the different sections we were showing you for hybrid design up. Now, the pre-work, that's the work that you already did. That was you putting the item in the Dropbox. And then if you click down here on session one was the face-to-face session. So what I put up here were the material that's posted here online from that face-to-face session we just did today. It has the overview of what we did. It has, once again, the course objectives. And that's one of those handouts that I gave you you could take notes on, the muddiest point. And then we just put an extra of an example of a muddiest point. So you can take a look at it. Now, in all of these, we're probably going to be giving you some in-class handouts or some extras and optionals. And I want to give you an example of an optional thing that we would be going ahead and giving you. One of our muddiest points, somebody said that they would really like Allison's rubric on discussions. And here's what I'll tell you about something like that rubric on discussions and how she does discussions. We would put that in optional, because our objective here for the hybrid training is the actual hybrid design. So getting you to look at the modules, so deep dive into discussions isn't something we'd spend a lot of time on, but it is something that we would definitely put in optional, and you can work with either myself or Allison, and we will help you with discussions. Okay, so back to the question about what do I do here? Well, you looked at the news items. Now come to content. You can look at pre-work in session one if you'd like. Now, session one was our face-to-face part, and we abbreviate it, and it's even abbreviated in the literature. You can put F2F for face-to-face. Okay, what you need to do next in this course is going to be here in session two. Okay, session two, go ahead and pull it up in the content. What we have here, and this is based on the design that you're doing, we have an introduction. And it says here exactly what to do. Watch the screencast review of the classroom assessment technique. If you're watching this video, you're doing that. Review the key elements of a hybrid course from the hybrid instruction. So we want you to go back and reflect on that again. Because remember, when we covered this, we really looked at how we might have to make adjustments, and you might have to talk to your department director or your department chair, because you might be making adjustments to what's there. Okay, so it says watch the screencast. Got it. Review the key elements. Okay, read the online activity overview. Okay, we're doing that. Download the abridged hybrid planning worksheet. So we gave you the one that you worked on in class. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go ahead and take what you worked on in class, you're going to refine it, and then you're going to go ahead and submit it for us. Now, here are some optional things right here. Again, like we said, this is about hybrid design. These optional things are, go ahead and click on them if you like, but you don't have to do a reading or a deep dive into this portion. So that was the first part. This is the introduction, straight from your hybrid sheet. This is the introduction to the online portion of the class. So this is how you get started in the class. The next part is the homework. And as we discussed, homework is the work students do in addition to class. So it's estimated homework takes 2 to 3 hours for every hour of the class. So here's what we're having you do. We're having you do this hybrid planning discussion pose. We're having you go in and do that. We also have the abridged hybrid worksheet here. You could go ahead and pull it down, and then that's a link to the Dropbox. Now, for the instruction and practice, your instruction and practice, and where we're going to, as instructors, go in and talk with you more and tell you more things, is in this discussion here. It's called the best blended learning activities ever. And remember, when it comes to this discussion post, pull out your sheet that shows what days things are due. This is due before this one. And the reason why this is due before this one is we want to give you some time to think about how you're going to do a hybrid class, and then, let it settle for a while, and then go into what are the best blended learning activities ever. And don't feel like you're under a lot of pressure. You can just do the best blended learning activities that you can think about when you're reflecting on this. And then session 2 ends with this assessment and transition. And so there's 2 parts of this assessment and transition. One, you will have already turned in your hybrid sheet. So Allison and I will have given you feedback. And the next part of it is we're going to ask you for another Muddiest Point. And this Muddiest Point has you using the assessment tool. So you'll get a chance to go ahead and look at the assessment tool right there. So that is what you're doing. So as far as the Muddiest Point question, that says that you want to know what our next step is for this class, log into D2L. Read the news, then come into content, and the content that says session 2, and go ahead and through that and start doing the work. Okay, some other Muddiest Point things. Let's see. Go down here to content, because we'll pull this one up. It's loading, and now it is loaded. Okay. The next one is I'm trying to wrap my head around how the 4 component model will work for my class. And here's what I have to say. It's going to take a little time. It wasn't even easy, very easy for Allison and I and other people when they were doing it. So think about your class, think pre-work, think about the introduction. Now this introduction, look at what's written underneath it. You're looking to activate prior knowledge. You're looking to grab the student's attention and explain the relevance for that. So that's what the introduction does. Now, it doesn't have to be really long, but we've found, and also the literature, and this will be coming up on another one, but the literature also does go into how this is often missed by instructors. And this is across the board, considering online, face-to-face, and hybrid. So we put it in here so that you would be explicit about these things. And with this design model, just think about we want you to be explicit in what you're going to put for these activities. Now, when you look at the sheet, it also says, give us an estimate on the number of minutes, okay? Because we're still thinking about those minutes that I put up on the board, okay? So, how much time is homework? How much time is instruction? How much time are you going to have them do pre-work? Now, remember, they are supposed to be having 3 hours that would be and I'm going by a regular 3-credit class, 3 hours, which is the equivalent of the 3-hour class. So how are you going to divide up these minutes? Okay, and remember, for homework, if it's a 3-hour class, there's a lot of homework that could be happening in there too. Okay, the next question. Ooh, this is a nice one. How to make a hybrid work with active elements for both student and the professor. Well, what we're doing right now is a bit of an active element. Okay, what I'm doing is I took the classroom assessment technique, the Muddiest Point, and now I'm coming back and answering this. So this is an active touch point for the students. This is and remember, you're the students. This is where I got the answer to the question, and I'm going through this, and I'm making decisions on what I'm going to show you, how long it's going to be, and what I'm going to put in here. This is active instruction that is geared towards exactly what the students need, because I did a formative assessment. So, how to make a hybrid work with active elements for both students and the professor. You'll hopefully be seeing this as we're doing this. Okay, next one. What was the muddiest point of the session? Okay, let's see. This one is high expectations, but that's okay. That is indeed nice to hear. Because of all of us have experience in online courses in D2L. Well, there's varying degrees when it comes to people's experience on online courses and also on D2L. So we'll look at D2L a little bit more now. Okay, we're back in the course. And if anyone has any problems with D2L, if you would like a little extra, I'd say tutoring, go ahead and email me or go ahead and email Allison. We would be able to find some time to go over it with you. It's easy enough to do it WebEx. We can answer all of your questions. The other thing is the Instructional Design Center. You can stop over there, and that's located over on the Larimer campus. That's located in the library towards the back. Now, the other thing about it is, or you could just go to the online learning office and just stop by there and just say, hey, can someone, show me, and just say what you'd like to be shown. And there will probably be either an instructional designer or instructional design assistant at both of those places. So either George or Bill can open things up and help you with it. So if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't know D2L, as well as maybe you thought you did, just stop by or send an email to me and Allison, and we will absolutely get on WebEx with you. And depending on the day, we might even be on Larimer campus. And we show up on other campuses too. Okay, here is the next one. Discussion. What's the muddiest point? Discussion forums. Allison's rubric for making and monitoring posts would be great. We'll put that in there, and we'll put that in as optional. Like we said, the focus isn't on doing the best discussions ever. It's designing the components of the best hybrid class ever. But we will give you that material, and you can just grab either Allison or me anytime you want to work on discussions. Okay, I am not sure of the place for an online lecture in the online portion of a hybrid course. Yes, that I will tell you that it depends. Like, as I'm looking at this now, I have one viewer. And I didn't announce this to you guys. And nor did I say, hey, I'm going to do this, or you have to come online and watch this. But right now I have one viewer, so thank you very much for watching. And the second part of it is I'm beginning to think it is unnecessary at this time. It is, I would say that this is one that when we discussed it before, it's it's up to you if you want to give it a try. And John was giving us a very good idea about how he thinks that it would be much more attended as a review than in other circumstances. But you might have students who want you to come on live and explain things to you. So I would say when it comes to that, you are the instructor, you are the subject matter expert, you'll be making that decision. I would say for everybody, keep an open mind just to think about it and see if at some point in time it would work for your students. And you're going to be teaching hybrid, so you can ask your students. You can say who's going to show up for this. Have them sign up. Okay, next question. Someone says that the muddiest point has to do with the D2L portion. Okay, and this was addressed. We also heard another statement about discussions being new. Okay, so discussions for most online courses is where people live, and where a lot of the active learning happens. Here's what I would say is come over to the discussions. I told you I'm very deliberate. Even though I might look casual and, and other things, I can always tell you I try to be very deliberate. So here's in this discussion post. It says the first discussion using that 1 week unit, and here we'll be doing two things. You worked on the first week, but this is going to scaffold you to the next assignment, and the next assignment will be where you have to go ahead and design a hybrid week. So this is getting you to start thinking about this already. So it says using a 1 week unit. Okay, so choose a 1 week unit that you would like to work in your hybrid class. Okay, so go ahead and choose that and post 3 to 5 learning objectives for the unit, and then give a 5 to 100 word description on how you would normally teach it, and any questions and concerns you would like to share with about teaching, or just teaching in general, or the hybrid class. And then also post a 25 word note that you would use in an email to effectively communicate the critical elements of your hybrid course design and pedagogy to students in the class. Okay, for this part that's here and that's bolded, how you would communicate this to a student in the class, think if a student emailed and said, can you tell me about your hybrid course? In 25 words, what would you tell them about the hybrid course? Or a number of you discussed emailing the students ahead of time. You can go ahead and have these 25 words ready and waiting for that email. Okay? It says when it's due. It is due on Sunday, and it's due, and then I want you to respond to other people by Monday, October 9th, and then please remember to be professional. So what you'll be doing for our week, this part of our week online, is you'll be going into hybrid discussions, and I'll click on there. And yes, like I said, I'm very deliberate. Here is where I said, please read before you post. And this is just a general going, do your original post. It's not so much of a writing assignment as you're inviting the other people in this session to come and chat with you. Okay? And it's totally fine if you'd like to add a picture and put links in there and anything else you feel like putting in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to click on start a new thread. So you can put your name on it, and it can be in, you could say, like Kay's response. And when you click on start a new thread, it asks you for a subject. Here's where you can go ahead and type everything. This button, it is actually the insert stuff button. This is pictures. This one is insert a symbol. This one back here was insert a link. And this other part of it is basically what you see on Word. Do you want to bold it? Do you want to italicize it? Do you want to underline it? Okay? So you would just come in here and do that. And the thing of it is, like I said, if you're having any problems, if you want someone to help you walk through this, email me or Allison, or stop by the online learning office or the IDC in the library. We're more than willing to help you there. And in fact, it's our job, and we like our jobs. Isn't that funny? We like teaching. Okay, last but not least. Okay, it says, it seems heavy on theory, and I would like more practical examples. We will try and give you those practical examples this week. Now, the thing of it is, both Allison and I, we both like research, and we both like talking about what the best practices are. So when it comes to that, it's going to be hard for us to not to not quote theory sometimes, or not quote research, but we will do our best. I think if you go back in, that you will see that in the hybrid course you're seeing examples, and if the examples don't work well, ask questions. You can email us separately, or you can just post it in discussions. Okay, so that's all for now, and I will see you later online. Goodbye.